Early on, watching my granddad and my dad wind strings by hand, there was no way that they were making the same string one after the other after the other. So if anyone speaks about hand winding being superior, that's really a myth.
This is 58.
Oh my.
335. First year with the unbound fretboard, right? So feel how light that one is.
Oh yeah.
Nice, right?
God.
That one's. That's another Gruhn's guitar
Really?
that your buddy Greg talked me into buying.
Well, thanks, Greg. I bet your wife hates it when you talk to Greg.
She's got her own money. Yeah. This is a good one. This is a good 335.
Right, let's hear that thing.
I had a 58 that I loved before I got this, and I got this one, and they were so, like, I kept comparing. I can't afford to keep both of them, and I was like, which one should I keep? And I kept goofing with them, and I couldn't decide which one I liked better, but I ended up going with this one. A little bit lighter weight, but they were both sounded great. But that pickup. Got some sustain, man.
Killer.
Yeah.
God.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one there. Yeah.
That is great.
Plays good.
So is that what you do when you because I know, man, I'm always seeing you with, with different guitars.
Yeah.
Do you like do you kind of do a taste test,
Yeah.
A/B them, and choose the best one instead of stockpiling?
I mean, I started getting into vintage guitars when I was 18 years old. I remember I bought a chopped up 65 SG Special, and I was hooked ever since then. Yeah. And man, I literally have gone through thousands of guitars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
Oh no, man! I've seen it.
I used to have a music store for a while, and I was always buying stuff. Still to this day, I'm pretty actively involved in the sort of trading vintage guitars. But I've always been of the mindset that I would rather trade 5 average guitars to get one truly special one, right?
Right.
And after all these years of playing these things, man, like I literally can just walk up to a guitar and just go like that, and I can tell you everything about it. It's crazy, like just the acoustic properties and the way it rings and the way it sings and all that stuff. It's like, I swear, man, like I've just been through so many of these things that I can just spot a good one. And then sometimes you get one that you think is really good, and then you take it to a session or a gig or something and you put it in the heat of battle, and it doesn't quite deliver the way you hoped it would, and I always sell those.
Yeah.
I give a guitar or an amp or something or a pedal 2 gigs
And
sessions,
it doesn't
and if
speak
it
to you?
doesn't kill, I get rid of it.
Really?
And I also don't like having guitars laying around that I don't play, or I'm not like a guitar hoarder. I don't have a lot of instruments, but I just try to have some really badass instruments.
Yeah.
I just like, because they require constant maintenance, and guitars, even if you leave them sitting in the case, they're changing every day.
Isn't that amazing? They drift.
Oh man, and I don't want to keep trying to keep up with a bunch of guitars. So I just try to get all the ones that I have like really dialed in. I'm really OCD about the setups on these things.
Yeah.
I can't stand it when a guitar is not at 100% playability. That's why I have Greg do all the frets, and I'm really constantly goofing with the setups on these things to make them, because it's like a thing with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I saw that you have your toolbox over there. Do you tweak on sessions all the time?
Totally, constantly.
Huh.
Yeah.
What strings do you use?
Diodora New York XL 10s.
Yeah.
I did play 11s for a while, for a couple of years, back a few years ago, but it's just, 11s are cool, but I found myself like bailing on licks that I would have gone for.
Right.
On 10s.
Yeah.
Because that high string, 11s don't feel really that much different from a 10 set, except for that high E.
Right.
Man, that high E would kill you on a set of 11s, man. And I found myself like soaring into the solo, and I'd be like, I'd love to just bend this note, but it hurts so bad that I just and then I said, fuck it. At that point, I don't want the guitar playing me.
Yeah.
I want to play the guitar. So I went back to 10s. I could play 9s. I mean, I don't think the strings really make that much of a difference. It's like,
I'm told that Billy Gibbons uses like 8s.
Yeah, and man, I saw him. I was in a house band. He was on a gig, and I said, man, I always wondered if he started doing that later. Right?
Yeah.
And like, I said, man, can I ask you one question? He's like, yeah, man, what do you want? I said, have you always played those 8s, like even back like on like, you know, Teja,
Yeah, right.
Duelo and all that stuff? And he said, yeah, man, I started doing it like 1971. That's what he said. Because he said that he was in a dressing room with B.B. King, and B.B. King let me see your guitar. He handed him his guitar. He had 10s on it. He said, why are you working so hard, man? He gave it back. But Billy could probably verify that story, but that's what he told me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Why are you working so hard?
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who's going to argue with B.B. King?
Right.
Now, this is a great story, too.
Okay.
And I don't often get called. I was trying to think about how to describe to you, John, you know, my role in Nashville when it comes to electric guitar. And I am not the vanilla ice cream or the chocolate or the strawberry. I'm like 15 flavors in, man. Some, you know, Oreo crunch combo. In that, you know, I'm not able to switch gears as quickly and with as much precision as, you know, the cats that sit in those chairs like Derek Wells and Rob McNally and Bukovac and Jed Hughes. But I love playing electric. And every once in a while I'm the right guy, you know, for the role or whatever. And I have had some good electrics over the years. But going back to that year, 2019, playing with Vince, I had a couple experiences getting to play in Vince's band up to that point. And I remember the first time I got the chance to do that, and Vince being my all-time hero. It's come on, man, I've died and gone to hillbilly heaven. But Vince calls me ahead of rehearsal and said, hey, man, if you got anything you want to try out, you know I got a bunch of guitars. Like, just let me know, and you know, you can borrow something while we're out on these gigs. And so my gears are turning, you know. Like, how do I ask not for everything, you know, right? Well, I'd like a black guard Tele, maybe a white guard Tele, maybe a thin line, what do you have? And the Strats, and we got to get all the Gibson models, you know. But I was really eating up with Freddie King at the time, and just over the moon for 335s. And I had an okay, a Heritage 535, I guess would be their model, which actually plays great, and it was a really good guitar and the best guitar I owned at the time. But I told Vince, I was like, man, I've never really owned a truly great vintage 335, and I would love to get to play one. So I show up for rehearsal, and this guitar is sitting on the stand.
Wow.
And I spend 2-3 weekends that first year I played with him, you know, just in heaven, playing this guitar, learning it, and didn't see it, didn't think about it, you know, for years. A couple years later, I'm getting married, and oh man, I get a call from Vince, and just off the cuff, he's like, man, when you get a chance, come by the house, man, I got a little wedding gift for you. And so I'm driving down to Vince and Amy's house thinking, man, I bet they got me and Kristen like the nicest toaster anybody's ever seen. You know, like she would toast 8 slices on different settings at once, you know, and Bluetooth and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I walk in, and it's this guitar.
Oh,
and it's sitting in a case. And I see Amy on the way in. She said, yeah, he changed the strings on it last night. And he's sitting with me, and we're talking, and I'm just bawling. And he had played this guitar on the Crossroads with Sting up in New York for CMT. And of course, I had played it, you know, when I was borrowing it. And he just said, you know, you deserve to have a really great electric you can play. And he gave it to me. He told me the story how he got it. He was coming home from a gig in Oklahoma somewhere. Somebody had reached out to him online and said, hey, I got my dad's old 335. I don't know much about it, but, you know, I'm here in so-and-so middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. And Vince is like, I'm going to be coming through on the way home from a gig. And this guy's an EMT that he's buying this thing from. So I think Vince's bus must have like just pulled into a truck stop.
Sure.
Somewhere in the middle of Oklahoma.
Did the deal.
In comes the ambulance. The EMT hops out, pulls a gold spray painted case with this guitar in it out of the back. And Vince buys the guitar, and I call it my Excalibur, and
oh, it's great.
I try to be worthy of it, you know.
What year is it? Do you know?
It is a 1960 .neck.
Wow.
I forget which is which, but one of these pickups is original, and one Vince got from his when he was in the Time Jumpers, Andy Reese, great guitar player that plays in the Time Jumpers.
What is this crazy thing there?
This is a Joe Glazer modification that helps, I think, with like intonation, and I'm the world's worst on technical stuff. I think keeps from any of the like the extra ringing and stuff.
Overtones.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a Joe Glazer contraption there.
That's so great.
Yeah, and you know, it's beat up, but man, it's like, and I'll need to work on the binding at some point.
Beat up by Vince Gill.
Beat up by Vince Gill and some dude driving an ambulance in Oklahoma, his dad, you know. But you know, it's a well-loved guitar, and it's more than anything, it's a reminder of how to be.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
And, you know, may I be so lucky someday to have an embarrassment. I already have an embarrassment of riches, but to be in a position to give that affirmation to somebody coming into town, wanting to make their mark on music.
That is great.
But yeah,
I think Vince's first good electric was a 335 his parents gave him.
it sure was a red, cherry red. I think.
Cherry red.
And he still has it.
Back to the "Let Me Love You Tonight" Pure Prairie League days. Was it Pure Prairie League?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Pretty wild. He played in a lot of folks' bands before being the Vince Gill we all know, you know.
Yeah.
And now he's an Eagle, you know.
Yeah, now he's an Eagle,
which is
right?
great. Yeah, right back to where
While
he
he's
started.
at it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a great instrument. And,
Hey, let's hear that thing a little bit.
Yeah, man. This bridge pickup really.
PAFs almost had that big Tele thing going.
Well, that is something I was learning about 335s around the time this became mine, is that, you know, your volume control right here is its own tone library.
Sure.
And yes. Well, here's this compressor. So pulling that back.
Yeah.
Got all that room to go. It gets real spanky down there.
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah, man.
And what an amazing story.
So wild.
Yeah,
I'm so grateful.
Well, this guitar I got down the street at Norm's. It's dangerous living up here, up the hill from Norm's, because you get into trouble.
You could do some damage. Yeah.
And so this guitar I got there, it's a player grade 62 and has a very, very thin playable neck. Now, the reason I got it, all my life I wanted a grade 335, and I searched and I couldn't exactly find one until I got this. And it's got a refret, which is the greatest thing, because the thing I like about new guitars the most is they'll have perfect big fat frets. So this has medium jumbo frets. The pickups are Ron Ellis pickups, which sound great. I love Ron. I love player grade guitars because the exact thing that makes the guitar more affordable makes it better for me. The modifications are improvements. So the refret mostly on this is what makes it better. And I actually love new pickups because all these guys that we know are making the most astounding, like, PAF style pickups now. So this thing, I finally got a grade 335. It was affordable. It's really playable. I can modify it if I want without feeling guilty or dinging the value. So thank you, Norm, for this thing. And, you know, it's funny. I don't go down there on purpose sometimes.
Right.
Because if you go down there, you know, you might end up, oh, here's 2 guitars and some cash. I need that one. You know, it's really funny.
Oh, yeah. He's built a business on just that. Hearing you come in playing that and just going through the pickups and how every sound is just perfect. Yeah.
This is like kind of my baby. This is my 335, 1978. Picked it up at like my local guitar shop in Redondo Beach when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I like, this is definitely like the soulmate of guitars for me. I have a lot of attachment to the instrument.
What brought you to that specific guitar, and then in a general sense, what kind of gravitated you towards the 335 in general?
Yeah. So what happened was, when I was like, I started playing guitar when I was 7, and my first guitar was my dad's, and then I got a Yamaha Pacifica, and then when I was like 13, I'm looking at my Strat. That was like the first time like I actually like picked a guitar for myself. And I got more into like jazz and studying guitar in college, and I wanted like an adult sophisticated jazz guitar, and the teacher at the time was like, a 335 would be great. And I was like, okay, and this guitar shop called Rhythm and Notes in Redondo Beach had this instrument, and I really had no idea what I was doing. I still have no idea what I'm doing, but then I really had no idea. And I feel so fortunate that I picked this, because this is a gem, even though 1978 isn't like a special year, but I think it has to do with the thousands and thousands of hours I've spent with it, and like, the neck is shaped and the body is shaped, and yeah, this is like my limb to me. I have other things I love, and yeah, other ones. This is like definitely the one behind me is like my sad baby, but this is my one.
Well, and that's kind of how I've known you through the different gigs you played online and stuff, is those two guitars. What do you like about the differences that they have that, because you do gravitate between those two the most time, the Tele and the 335?
Yeah, and I have a couple other ones here that are new that I'm getting into, that I'm learning about, but I never, basically what was going on was this was like the one, and especially when I was touring more, I didn't want to travel with it because the fear of something happening to it it was like gave me too much anxiety. So I was like, I have some like loaner guitars from Gibson I was using, and those were cool. But the Tele, yeah, it's such a difference in sound. The Tele, I feel like, is more reliant than especially the other 335s or 339s or whatever, semi-hollow bodies that I use. The Tele, it's less stressful, first of all, and it's easy to play. I think the thing that I get so used to is like a bigger body, and having like, sometimes like with the Strat, I feel like I'm like playing a stick that's just gonna like fall apart. But like there's something about the Tele that feels like it's a body, and like I can get the twang, I can get the warmth. The funny thing about, Teles I think are the most versatile guitars. Some people think like 335s are, but this I feel like more trapped into things with. The Tele is so great from everything like jazz and country and pop and soul. So I love the versatility of that. And I have some exciting news that I'm going to share today. I got a new neck on that, and I picked it up like 2 days ago, and it's so cool. But yeah, so the Tele, the versatility, and like I feel like it can be you can get a little more punch.
Okay, so you mentioned that sometimes maybe the 335 can keep you in a box. It's not as versatile. So what is that box that the 335 likes to be in musically?
Yeah, well, I think it's a little more mid-rangey, so that thing for one, and also I think whether it's like, I think of this more as like soul, pop, jazz, like that world of music, and in this one I think it just has more places that can go. To me, this is the most Tele is the most versatile guitar. While the 335, like I can basically do anything I want on this instrument, and I don't feel that trapped in, but I think there's just more freedom and reliability with a solid body, and less stress too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, the Tele, and we'll get there in a moment, it's like, someone like Bill Frisell can play it, and then someone like John Five can play it, and they don't do their own thing with that instrument. But before we move on with the 335 and kind of maybe walk us through like your favorite kind of tones you want to use with it and how you use it, is there anything you've done to it since you've had it at 17, or like what strings you use? Have you upgraded your pickups or any parts on it?
I downgraded my last gig, not really, but like my last gig before quarantine ended, I dropped my guitar, which is when I knew it was a sign something was really drastically changing in my life. I dropped my baby. And it fell right on the G tuner. So I don't know. I'll get you guys a little close up, but that G tuner is a little janky. So I did that. No, and then I got a fret job done on it. Norik Renson in NoHo did a fret job refret on it, and I think he did a great job. But no, the thing is like I kind of like get into a thing. I'm like, this is the thing. It feels great, and I get scared to change too much string wise. Gabriel Tenor, he's like works out of Boyle Heights out in LA, and he does these hand wound strings that are beautiful that I put on these mostly, and then sometimes I'll do Ernie Ball, like Slinky.
What gauge?
11.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's 11 except my Strat is a 10.
All right, well let's hear some sounds out of 335 and kind of like what your favorite sweet spots are for it.
So typically, I feel like I have the volume at like 8 or 9. I like to have like there's something I think you get a little more warmth from that. Tone around the same. Obviously, that changes. I tend to mostly be a neck person because I like warm. Like it's so warm there, but there's roundness to the sound, so I tend to be there. But sometimes I will go to the middle pickup and the back pickup. It kind of depends what's happening. I'm very much come from like an improvisation school, so everything's responding to the environment around me. It's not like I'm always here, but mostly I'm on the neck pickup, but I will do other things, and I feel like my second place is the middle pickup and then the bridge pickup.
Gotcha. Do you want to say anything else about the 335, the lovely 335, or should we move on to the Telecaster?
I guess we can move to the Tele. Yeah, I just love this. It's my baby, and I love all the wear that's been done to it too. Like I can show you guys the neck too. Like I love, like I did this, and there's something that I think you get attached to that thing.
I am like, obsessed. I've always tried to find really cool refins or player grade guitars for multiple reasons, mostly because it's cheaper.
Sure. Oh.
Like first and foremost. And also, a lot of times they just have a cool, unique quality to them, and a lot of times they've been played a lot.
Sure.
So, the wood has been beaten into submission into guitar now.
Right.
And
if somebody's like played it enough to need a refinish, that means it's probably a good guitar.
It's a good guitar because you want to play it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then, so I've had a couple 335s. Just throughout the years, and 60s. I have a 65, and I had a 68 for a while.
Oh, cool.
And I liked them, but the issue that everyone has with them is just really thin down here by the nut. And then just to get a 335 with the 11/16 nut width, which makes all the difference in the world, you have to spend a ridiculous amount of money.
Sure.
And you rarely see these refin, but I'm on Reverb like an addict. I'm on there all the time, so I'm just scrolling through my feed like I'm just obsessed.
Yeah.
And sure enough, a 1960 Dot refin popped up, and I was like, oh my God. And it was significantly cheaper than it would be if it wasn't refinished. And the only thing not original, unfortunately, are the pickups, but they are patent sticker that have been converted to longer magnets to PAFs, and it just sounds
close enough.
Sounds bitchin', man.
That's
and I love
great.
it. It's a really wide neck. It's not as thick as a 59 because it's a 60, but it's super comfortable, and I've just been in love with this guitar lately. I really love it.
That's great. Yeah, man. It was interesting because, like I said, I always saw you in the Tele, and then an award show a while ago when you were doing Burning Man, you were playing that Les Paul.
Les Paul, yeah.
And I thought,
yeah,
damn.
that was it's just one of those things, I'm so obsessed with the Tele that I just could never break the habit. And
Right.
I have so many heroes that, not only play a lot of other instruments, but they're playing guitars that for some reason I couldn't really attach myself to. And I made it a point. I was like, you know what? I gotta figure out how to play a damn humbucker guitar. I've been doing this long enough. I don't even own one.
Right.
And so I went, the first one I got was a 68 SG, which is at home, and I've played it a lot. And the first humbucker guitar was like, oh, this feels great.
Yeah.
And then I went to Gibson. I was like, really wanting to get a Les Paul, and then they hooked me up with an R9, big neck, and
great.
pickups. The stock pickups sound amazing.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I played it, and I've been in love with it ever since. And our poor Zach, who we mentioned earlier, first week on the job, broke the headstock off of it.
Nice going.
So very good,
Zach.
very good, Zach.
Good going.
And I believe we gave him a raise a week after that, strange enough.
Yeah.
And now it's officially my guitar.
yeah,
They
right.
kind of let me borrow it, but I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it's broken.
they don't want it back.
They don't want it back, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to have it.
Well played. Yeah. What strings are you running?
These are D'Addario NYXLs.
And the D'Addario NYXL.
But they're D'Addario strings, and I've been using those since forever, and I love them.
D'Addario strings as well.
D'Addarios.
Right.
D'Addario. I've been using D'Addario. I'm a fan of D'Addario.
Started using these D'Addarios. I like the D'Addario NYXLs.
These are D'Addario, and I got the NYXLs on here.
Can we start just talking about that guitar? That's the one, right?
Yeah, this guitar is the one that I played at the majority of my sessions on and my solo records. The choice to get the A335 was actually a very practical choice for me. You know, I play a lot of different styles of music, and for me, I wanted to get a guitar that could cover a lot of bags, so I didn't always have to switch to a bebop guitar for this, a blues guitar for that. And this one covers most of the bags that I want to play or was called on to play. So that's how I ended up picking the 335. And the little store I went to in 1969 to buy a 335, it had 3 335s hanging on the wall. And I chose this one out of it because it sounded the best to me, and the rest is really history, isn't it?
It is history.
Yeah.
So literally that was brand new when you bought it?
Brand new.
Wow, one owner guitar.
Yeah, 1969.
So in the beginning it was just kind of a pragmatic thing about not wanting to schlep a ton of gear to sessions.
Yeah, although I ended up carrying everything, but this one seemed to cover most, so I didn't have to keep pulling a new guitar out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the years, have you done many modifications to it?
Not really. Obviously the stop tailpiece, because it came with the trapeze. Same original pickups. A number of fret jobs over the years because I've played it so much. And we put in a graphite nut. Long time ago, Mike McGuire said, you ought to try this, man. There's no stick and it won't ever wear out. And it doesn't stick and it doesn't wear out.
Huh.
Other than that, you know, replace the tuning pegs when it needs it, but
wow,
nothing else.
Great. And on your Gibson has released a signature model.
Yeah, I copied this guitar, and it's really cool. They came out really good.
Really? So is it just identical? I mean, do they relic it to look like it, or is it just basically copying the build?
They copied everything and even the color. They call this a Carlton burst. And so that's the label on it, you know.
Wow, what an honor in a
yeah, for sure.
Sure. Very fitting tribute. Now you've got another 335 that you've.
I do.
Your backup. Let's look at that guy. Oh, and this is Rick Wheeler.
Nice to see you.
Friend and technician. This 335, this is a 1968. I got a letter from a fan, and basically it took 6 months for the letter to get to me. You know, it went through the offices and people filed it away. Anyway, this guy said, you're my favorite guitar player. And this guitar that I have is a 68 335 that's been not played in, was it 17 years? Yeah, 17 years. Wow. And he said, I would like to give it to you as a backup guitar if you like it. And if you don't like it, please don't keep it. Well, he sent it, and it's just great. So this was a gift from a fan.
How great.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel a lot like your number one?
Yeah, it does. It really does. And the tone was very, very similar. Huh. And so what I did, though, is I wanted to experiment, so I put PAF pickups, old matched PAF pickups, in this one so it wouldn't try to sound exactly.
Right.
So yeah, it gives me a whole different world when I play this one tone-wise.
Wow, how cool.
What a nice gift, huh?
Yeah, incredible. Well, yeah, incredible. I mean, but you have so many loyal fans.
Yeah.
When we mentioned on Facebook that we were interviewing you, it's the most response I've ever had with questions and
cool.
And shout outs, and it's
nice.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
My favorite guitar is this 69 335 that I got from Gruhn's.
Perfect. Let's take a look.
I heard about this guitar. I was on a session up in Hendersonville, actually at Ricky Skaggs' studio. We were working up there, and I was working with Victor Krause, the great bass player, plays with Lyle Lovett and does lots of session work in Nashville.
Allison's brother.
Allison's brother, yeah. And he's a great guitar player and plays with, works with Bill Frisell and does all this crazy stuff. And he's a huge Led Zeppelin fan, so he traded this guitar in to get a Les Paul. And I told Victor at the studio, I said, man, I'm really looking for a really good 335. And he goes, man, I just traded one in at Gruhn's. You ought to go check it out. And I went down there and checked it out and bought it immediately. And it's a 69. I mean, it was, it's got the trapeze tailpiece and nice, you know, what it is it's a smaller nut down here, right? I think, right, Floyd, these 69s? Which I love because this guitar has a small neck, and I'm used to playing a Tele style guitar, so this 335, when I go to this guitar, I'm not grabbing a huge neck and having to change my feel. You know, it still feels really good to me. So this has been a good guitar. I haven't had it. It's probably been. I've had it for a couple of years. It's not one of my older guitars that I own, but it's a really good one. And I love playing this guitar, man. And it's great to have. You know, the Tele covers a lot, and I'm comfortable on that guitar. But it's nice to have some, you know, added horsepower too when I want to pick up this. And the hollow body still has the airy quality that I like too. So.
Yeah, and it's funny, you put on a different guitar and then you just kind of play differently.
You play completely differently, yeah. I mean, you can still, the beauty about a 335 is you can still, if I want to do some steel guitar bends or something like that, I can, you know, as to where like a Les Paul might not be as, you might not go there as fast, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, this is a good one, man. You guys want to hear it?
Yeah. Play a little bit.
Should I play a little something on this?
Sure, play a little. Pick a little something.
Let's pick one. All right.
Sounds killer, man.
Yeah, I like this guitar.
Yeah. Fill everybody in on that guitar, because I recognize a couple changes, more than just the paint, but...
Yeah, well, you know...
what year is this?
62.
62. And this is snakebite, what you called it back in the day.
Yeah, back then, I mean, you know, it's my guitar. I don't really kind of, you know, name stuff really. Some people call it red and stuff, but because it was red. But for the longest time, when I got it, the previous owner had put a stop tail, and because this had a custom made plaque and had the holes already there to put a stop tail, and so for years I used it with the stop tail, and then a couple of years ago, well, right at the beginning of the pandemic, you know, we were all looking for things to do, right? So I have this old Silvertone that had a Bigsby on it, and I played that guitar for like months on end, and I got really used to it. And so when I pulled this out of the closet, having not played it for a few months, I was like, man, I really wish. So I just pulled the Bigsby out that had come on it originally, and put it on it, and put the original bridge with the nylon saddles back on it, and it's like, I love it even more than before. And people ask me all the time, like, did it change and all this stuff? I don't think so. Like, I mean, I'm pretty familiar with how this feels and sounds, and it's like, with this guitar in particular, it didn't really do anything negative. I love it. And then of course I took it to Glazier because it wasn't really staying in tune, and so Nick down at Glazier did all his work to the nut and to the saddles and under the bar here, I guess the things that guys do to make them so they stay in tune. And it's great, you know. And I can't remember last time if Joe had put that in yet.
No.
So
no,
Joe,
that's new.
Yeah, so Joe, this would have been like shortly after that, because this has been this way for a long time, but I wanted it to go out of phase. And so Joe had to like take this pickup apart to make that possible.
Were you reluctant to take a PAF apart?
I wasn't. Joe was. And Joe was like, he was like, I don't mind doing it for you. He's like, but I want to make sure you really want me to do it before we do it. And so like I said, this is a while ago. This is certainly 2014 or 15 or something. So yeah, he did it, and I love it because I use it all the time. And I love being able to go back and forth. And then we were in Europe one time, one of the many times, and this screw fell out somewhere. So I had the pickguard off for a long time, and people were always asking me like, "Oh, is that is that a cosmetic change?" I'm like, "No, I lost the screw." But Glazier, what's funny is over the years, underneath here, there's like this big hole here. There's like a Willie Nelson trigger hole almost underneath here, because I would rest my pinky there, and I was slowly eating a hole right here. And so Glazier was like, "You should really put that pick guard back on." And I was like, "I don't have a screw." And he's like, "I'll give you a damn screw." And so one of the times where I brought it in to have him fix it for, a myriad of different things he's done to it, I got it back and he had just put it back on. And I was like, "All right, I'll leave it on because
Joe says so."
Indeed. And and I mean, it's been refretted a couple of times. I think we just did it in the last year, so this is like the third refret, I guess. But I'm pretty diligent in between tours. Like we just finished a couple days ago, and this has already been in to sort of get leveled, and because I've learned over time that it's like if I do it every few months, it sort of gives it that much longer rather than just waiting for something to go wrong, you know. And the other thing is this did in what was it, 2017 I think, or 18? No, it was 2018. We were playing at a venue in Washington D.C. that will remain nameless, and got done with the gig and thank you, good night, and the boat was up on a road case, and I put it in the boat to walk into the dressing room, and it wasn't latched in because I just literally put it in there, and the sound guy knocked the boat over, and it cracked the headstock on this. And so Glazier repaired the headstock and put like the carbon fiber inlay thing in there. And I got it back and it sounded better. And Joe, apparently, he's like, I stopped telling people that it might sound better because it's like the last thing you want to hear, like when your favorite instrument is in pieces or something, is, "Oh, don't worry, it'll be fine," like, but honest to goodness, it actually sounded better. And now it's like I don't have to worry about it at all because it's like there's carbon fiber in there. That sucker is not.
Oh yeah. So did you have a backup guitar with you? Because for the longest time, it seems like you were only playing that guitar.
Still to this day, this is really the only thing I play. But yeah, I have a couple of, there's one here that I use sometimes, and then there's a bunch that I have that, during that period, there's a Pelham Blue 355 that I'd gotten from Gibson that I used for a couple months, and which is a great guitar.
No, they were doing a replica of this guitar.
They did a run a few years ago, but it's funny because it was like the aged, and so it was like a moment in time. It was like the aging at that particular moment, So it's like, which was a huge honor. And I have a prototype that's in there that I'm keeping for my daughter. So like, when she wants a car one day or something, I can be like, "Well, here." It's like guitar economics,
Right.
It's like, "Here you go, honey."
Yeah.
Papa will give you a guitar for it.
Hey, I want to hear that magic switch. Yeah, let's hear.
Yeah, so in sort of the. It's got that sort of, or like, or what is it? It's got that kind of sound, but then with the out of phase, it's.
Wow.
So it really changes it quite a bit.
Totally different personality.
Yeah, and it really, and I use both of them a lot, and even for some of the funky, to be out of phase is good as opposed to. Really, it just kind of cuts all the low end out. So yeah, I use it all the time, and it's a great mod.
Yeah.
And yeah, I recommend it to a lot of people. I think it's a really good, you know.
You get so many tones out of, well, whatever guitar. Like, check out his Instagram page. 'Cause you're always doing these great things on different weirdo guitars. You get so many different tones out of just the instrument. It's really inspiring.
Well, thanks, man. I try, and I mean, it's funky guitars, man. You know, they lead you to cool places sometimes, and you know, this is endlessly inspiring, though. I mean, really, it's the only one I ever really want to play.
Since you picked up this 335, it's gotten really interesting to me, man. So tell me about this guitar.
Well, I was in Seattle back in the fall of last year and stopped in Emerald City.
Oh, yeah.
And I had an Esquire I played pretty much exclusively as long I can remember. And I don't know, it was just hanging there. And I stared at it for a second, trying to talk myself out of picking it up, and it was kind of shot, like the frets were gone, and you know, but it was all original. And my buddy Trevor was just like, "Man, that's your guitar, dude." He's like, "Thing's been hanging here for a year." He's like, "Nobody looks at it," and I was like, "Well, what's the story with it?" And played it a little bit. I could tell, you know, the PAF's a 62.
Oh yeah.
So it, you know, it works pretty good.
Right.
And he said it had one owner. It belonged to this lady named Rainey, who bought it brand new. She's from Memphis. She bought it brand new in 62 in Memphis at a place called Making Music, I think. And something that shop used to do at the time was when they'd get Gibsons in, as to make it like a shop exclusive, because nobody thought one day this might be a problem.
Sure.
They would strip the headstock and put the L5 Torch logo on it with this. And so that was like a Making Music exclusive. So a lot of people ask me if it's like a repair, if it's ever been broken, but clean.
Wow.
So then Tom just kind of, my buddy Patrick put some frets on it, got it buttoned up, but everything's pretty much OG.
God, that's great.
I think Rainey put the Grovers on, so she knew what was up.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
God, that's so cool. So they went with the script and that fern inlay. That is so hip. So was it a big adjustment going from that old Fender to this?
Not really. I mean, the neck's super comfortable, and it's, you know, a very versatile, dynamic guitar, just like that Esquire. But no, I just, like, tonally speaking, it was nice, because Lauer plays a Tele too. When I brought it in with the band, it was a nice tonal separation.
Sure.
Especially with these amps, and
yeah.
Yeah, just it's really easy to play. I don't feel. I'm used to the controls on a Tele far more, just because I played them more.
Yeah.
But I had when I was in high school, I think I had like a little Epiphone Sheraton for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I knew that I liked the body style. They're comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's hard. You know, this is kind of a little sad to say. Maybe it became the number one.
Yeah.
Most nights.
Well, there's, you know, a ton of like videos going up of you all the time, and you're always on that one, it seems like. Yeah.
Most of this tour, played this one the most. Yeah, Tom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds amazing. So show me what you've made some changes to the wiring on it.
Yeah. Well, we just it's pretty, I guess, what you call a common mod now for a Gibson, but just flipping the pickup magnet in the neck from the, you know, so these two pickups are now out of phase in the middle position, so you just get like that woody, almost acoustic T-Bone Walker, Peter Green thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
But, you know, so the neck pickup. So that's obviously a must-have.
Oh,
you know.
God, that is great.
Thanks, man. I got an R9. I did the same thing too. I use it on one song. It's in a weird open G kind of banjo tuning.
Huh.
And I did the same thing to that guitar like a year ago and kind of dug it. So out of shits and giggles, Tom and I was like, let's see what it sounds like, and we ended up keeping it because, it's also like a really great rhythm option because you can, dial the pots in whatever the level is.
God, that when you hit that low E, oh God, the whole stage.
That's
like,
yeah. It's hard to beat that.
Oh yeah, man.
I love it, man. I really do.
That's like raunchy tonk. Yeah.
This one is one I chased a guitar for about 5 years. It was at Guitar Center here, and you're not gonna be able to see this on camera, I don't think, but it says Rebel right here. Somebody had a sticker on it, and I always thought that was so hip. It was probably done in early 60s or something. And this is a 1960 335, original PAFs, changed to the Grovers, which is, again, a super cool Jimmy Page thing,
Right. I don't mind that, man.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love when guitars are messed up. I love headstock repairs. I love refins. I love dogged out guitars. It really scares me to play a clean guitar.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't like wearing a suit. So, I don't want a guitar that feels like a suit.
Yeah. And also I think there's a legitimacy to it because, like, in the 80s, everybody jacked with their guitar because it was like kind of took pride in it. It's like, hey man, I improved it. And so when I see something really clean, I kind of question.
Yeah, it weirds you out a little bit.
Yeah, like, why didn't you play it?
That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
This guitar, I know Scott Holiday from Rival Sons used this a ton on the last couple Rival Sons album, and it's something about it. This sounds like Paul Kossoff's Les Paul. It has that real burnt. There's like a burnt kind of sound I always look for in Gibsons, and this one just has it. And I searched for many, many years. As a matter of fact, I had a killer 61 335 that I never thought I'd get rid of, and Jason started playing it a lot. Isbell started playing on the Something More Than Free album, and he really bonded with the guitar. He's like, dude, sell me this one. I was like, hell no, I'm not selling you that guitar. And so he kept going and going and going until one day I sold it, and now that's his main guitar.
Yeah, his rundown. It's actually Perry, who's on the camera right now, did that rundown.
Oh, cool.
And I think that guitar is on it. So
man, that guitar is insane. And there's a picture his wife took of the day I sold it to him, and he looks like a little happy, child, and I look miserable. And the day he sold that to me, I knew where this guitar was, and it was overpriced, and I called them up and made an offer, and they took it that day. But this sat on the wall at Guitar Center for a good 5 years.
Really,
it was just I think it was bald at the height when these things were going crazy, and was marked up too much, but they were really great and gave me a good deal. So I finally got it after chasing this thing forever.
That's great. Yeah, it's funny, the market of vintage guitars, it got crazy expensive.
It did, yeah.
And now it's kind of leveled off, but who knows?
Thank God. Yeah. It seems like it's come down.
Tell me about this guitar.
Oh man, yeah. This I think it's a '67 335. Got it from Carter's. Just walked in. I was looking for one. It was kind of like an end of year tax situation.
Yeah.
And
gotta buy some gear.
Right. Exactly. And I loved it. It was fantastic. And honestly, I was saying to you earlier, it's like I never really loved it. It sort of lived in my vault for a while, and it did the thing. I'd bring it out and use it for certain stuff, but it wasn't like a go-to. And the other day I was just like, man, I need to sell this thing. It's not like the perfect guitar, but I'll give it a chance. And I brought it home and I just tweaked on it a little bit and just fine-tuned it, and now it's perfect.
Oh,
and now I don't ever want to get rid of it. It's
okay. So when you're tweaking on it, what do you do? I mean, because I think being a guitar player is almost like owning a Harley. You have to know how to tweak them a little bit.
Right.
But I'm a terrible luthier, and sometimes I kind of work my way out of it more than into it. What do you do when you're doing your personal tweaks before you bring it to a pro?
It's everything except for like fretwork or like wood repair.
Yeah.
Anything that involves glue, I don't do. But anything that's already on the guitar, anything that's an adjustment screw, truss rod, it's like I'll start with there, and it's just fine adjustments, and same with saddle height, and I figured out just ways to get these things to stop rattling. From a lot of the time, from bringing stuff to luthiers, and I'll just like hang out and bug them and kind of look over their shoulder, and be like, "What are you doing there?" And they'll show me some tip of being like, "Oh, you can bend these wires back into place, and it'll press against the saddles, and you get rid of that rattle." And I'm just like, "Okay, good to know. Now I don't have to like drive back here next time." And just little stuff like that. I think with this one, I tried a couple Bigsby screws. Like I Amazoned a set of like different tension.
Oh, really?
Of the springs rather, and I went back to the one that I had on there just because I liked it. But I'll just.
Yeah, that Bigsby feels so buttery, man.
Yeah, it's one of the. I think this is the low. It's the classic tension, whatever they call it. It's like the smooth tension. I forget the name of it, but it's like the vintage, whatever that one is. You may know, but it's But yeah, and that weather is the biggest thing. I'm sure you know. It's just the season going into winter and then out of winter is always the worst. It's like you go in and you've got all the ways the neck is just going to be bowed forward.
Right.
And I'll make it a habit now where I'll just sit multiple times around November, December, tweak on everything, get it back right, and then when it starts warming up again and we go into spring, it all comes back and you get like. And you have to loosen it all up again, and sometimes that's just what it is. It's like I always encourage everyone to do that. Just like if you really hate a guitar, like give it some time, you know.
Right.
Like,
do you ever find when you're on the job that's when you discover it's like out of whack?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll just carry one of those little Ernie Ball toolkits and just I'll have enough time to just like tweak on something in between songs if I need to. Like, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's like in my sort of middle age now. It's like that's what I do for fun in the evenings. Is I bring guitars home and I'll just sit there and put on a YouTube video and just start to. That's my favorite thing to do in the world, man. I love it.
Yeah, and just kind of it gives you an opportunity to really like listen and feel. Yeah,
for sure.
Get it.